Hello?
Hello, Mr. Arkady.
Hi, how are you? Okay.
I'm all right.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Good to hear. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm happy to help. Let me know what happened, how everything happened.
So I actually remember the specific time as well. So I was working, it was March 21st, about 10:20 a.m. I work at a car dealership. So we have two different buildings, one for new, one for used. We frequently go back and forth. So we were in the process, myself and two of my coworkers who were in the car, of bringing a used car to our center, which is along the same highway. So we were doing that, and then we were coming out. I made a right. There was a few cars going by. Nothing when I came out. All that caught on camera. By the time I got to the corner, which was probably about maybe 15, 20 feet from the door of the building to make a right, I was in a four-door sedan, a Passat. We were halfway into the turn, and the guy comes out of nowhere flying, and he hits us. We immediately, our car gets pushed forward. I turn around, I check on everybody after we figure it out, get out the car, immediately call the police and my job. Um, Police at the time had instructed me to sit down because I was very hot and sweating while everybody else was cold getting into March. So he called the EMT. The EMT came and checked myself and another coworker out. They let us know if we wanted to go into the ER, and I'm thinking, it's fine. It's just my adrenaline. I'll be all right.
What part of your car did this other car hit? What part of your car got impacted?
It was the left rear bumper, and I was the driver. My two coworkers were sitting in the back seat. I was not wearing my seatbelt either.
And this is when you were making a right turn, you said?
Yes. Yeah, he was in a Jeep Sahara with a modded grill, so it's pretty heavy. So about 2 hours later, I had to go to the ER because, one, I was feeling extremely lethargic, tired. I couldn't concentrate on anything. I would start a task and then completely forget what I was doing. So fast forward all that, about April, 'cause I didn't want to pursue anything. Again, I'm thinking that everything's fine. And then I start feeling the repercussions of everything, the headaches. I can't even lift my arm up. I've got foot drop. I'm walking and my leg would just go, just pain in my neck and my back and my arm. So I go to urgent care. He did I think a Doppler test. So from there, they did MRIs and they saw that I had a disc herniations in my neck. So they started very conservatively. We started with, I think I did like 18 sessions of PT, and they actually were just worse. It was excruciating. Like the day after, while I was doing it. So then after that, they suggested an epidural shot. So I did that, and it helped with my headache, but nothing else. So October of last year, they did the ACDF.
Oh, so you had an ACDF. That's pretty and what levels did you have that at?
Uh, I think C4 to C7,
Oh, that's pretty serious. Yeah. And what was the date of the crash? When did the crash happen?
March of 2024, March 21st. Yeah. So after that, I was home on a collar. I had to do all that. And then also, while I'm on the collar, it was excruciating because now I'm having bladder issues, which I've never had in my life. So now I get up almost every 30 minutes to go to the bathroom. I can't sleep, not just because of the collar, but the frequent urination. So now I'm telling my doctor that because I'm still treating. And he's like, okay, well, come November now, let's see. They actually did a epidural shot in my lower back, which didn't help anything. And all the while, I've had foot heel numbness. So 2 days before Christmas, they did an MRI. They got the results back extremely fast, and I was scheduled for a laminectomy 2 days later. So they did an emergency laminectomy. He diagnosed me with CES. So I'm now taking two medications to manage that.
Mm.
So
And what
yeah,
do you know
it was
what
all
level the
right.
what level the laminectomy was done at? Which was at L5 or?
Yeah, that was L5S1.
Okay, that's pretty serious too. So you had two major surgeries. And how old are you, by the way?
44.
Oh, and you had 2 major surgeries, yeah. And how much in did the lawyers tell you how much insurance the defendant has?
Yeah, they told me that he had a $1 million policy.
Does he have any excess or umbrella beyond the million?
I'm thinking so because they're demanding 2 million. Yeah. So I was at I was told by my neurosurgeon I'm at MMI in April. He's like, there's really not much, that can happen at this point. You'll either get better, you're where you'll be forever, or it could get worse, is what I was told. All the while, my pain management doctor had kept suggesting that I see a neurologist for the foot heel numbness. I saw a neurologist. He did the like where they put the needles into your nerve.
Oh, okay, like an EMG, right? EMG probably, yeah.
Yes, yes, he did the EMG, and he says everything is normal, but he also did note that I have permanent foot heel numbness.
Yeah, that's pretty
So as
serious
long
too.
as
And the bladder issues, that's all very serious. Yeah, and you're only 44, you're young. And which has the lawyer filed a lawsuit? Is there a lawsuit in court already?
he filed a lawsuit December 11th of last year.
Okay. And what stage is it at right now? Like where like are you having depositions coming up or what stage is it in?
I've already had depositions. I specifically remember it because my mother-in-law's birthday. It was August 25th was my deposition via Zoom. Um, my lawyer and apparently the other lawyer told my lawyer that I did phenomenal, while the defendant lied and said I cut him off. To which my lawyer responded, there's video of it.
Mm.
So I don't know why he even thought to lie with the video. So where I'm at, I still haven't had a DME yet. Discovery closes in November, so I don't know if I had the right to say so or not, but I told my lawyer I want him to oppose any form of continuance or extension because I'm sitting here, in limbo where I could be going to a DME. I actually just went to my experts, my personal injury experts, independent medical exam last week.
Mm.
And on Halloween, I actually have to go for another IME, but for workers' comp.
Oh, you said personal injury expert? Who is that? Is that a doctor that's helping you with the case or?
Yeah, yeah. So my personal injury lawyer sent me to an orthopedic surgeon for their expert. Mind you, I've already throughout this whole thing, I've already seen a neurologist, an orthopedic surgeon, a pain management, FCE.
And why is the lawyer sending you to an orthopedic surgeon as an expert? He can't use your surgeon, the one who did the actual surgery, as an expert, or?
I don't know. That surgeon was phenomenal, and his report, he basically says it's 100% the car accident's fault. I don't know if they're trying to combat anything or what.
Yeah, that's usually the best thing to do is to use the actual surgeon. Do you know who's the surgeon who did the surgery?
I think what it was after I saw the neurologist, he sent the reports to my lawyer, but he did not send the findings of the MRI. So that kind of made my lawyer ask, why didn't he send that? So then when they did send it, that's when they said that I'm having issues on the other side of my neck now as well.
Okay, so then you said discovery closes pretty soon, so you should probably get a trial date, quickly, or it might settle. But you should definitely check if there's more than a million, and which.
Well, I did ask him after watching your videos. I actually asked him last month, and I said, have we checked for any an umbrella? And he basically praised me on being so knowledgeable. And I said, no, 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 that's not me. I listen to Arkady Frekhtman on YouTube. So I have to ask. So he did say he did check, and there was none.
I think they should tender the million to you. You could be, I mean, which lawyer do you have, or which law firm is handling it for you? Yeah, I mean, if you want, I could run a search and send you the results. It'll be like confidential, so you see what prior settlements they've gotten or what. I think I've heard the name before. I don't know if it was somebody else who did a consult who asked me to search, but it sounds familiar.
I'm very limited in, obviously what I can see versus what you can see, but I know that I went on, I think it's Trellis Law, where you can see a little bit of things. And from what I did see from his previous cases, that he did allow for a lot of continuances. That's why I told him that I'm opposed to that. Like if we go to trial, I'm fine with going to trial. Like I'm 100% okay with that.
But I mean, if it's only a million and there's no excess, what I would recommend is just send them a letter, say like, hey, pay me the million. You have 30 days. If you don't, then that's fine. But when we go to trial, it'll be like 5 million. Because look, I have two fusion. I mean, I have ACDF, three levels, C4 to C7. I have a laminectomy. I have bladder issues. I have, foot heel numbness, all these things. And I'm only 44. And just show them like, past, is going to be this much, future is that much, medical bills. I don't know if you have lost wages, just every category, and just look, it could be huge. It could be like over 5 million. What are you guys doing? And just have them tender the policy. And if they don't, then, just kind of stay strong with them and say that then I'm going to consider it open. You're going to be liable for the whole verdict. Because otherwise, you're just kind of waiting on them to do something, but they might not do anything. They might just delay, and, that's what they always want to do. So that's what I would,
Right.
that's what I would recommend. But I know not every lawyer uses that tactic, but I think it's kind of like put them in a corner and force them to pay you quickly.
No, I have been pushing that, and I think he's waiting to get the report back from the orthopedic surgeon that I just seen to add that to the package. Because, like I said, they still haven't even scheduled a DME yet.
All right.
And the paralegal working with him said, they are entitled to that. I said, yes, 100% they are entitled to that, but within the bounds of discovery. Like we don't have to allow for a continuance because they're not being diligent, correct?
Well, yeah, it's up to the judge. I mean, the judge might give them extra time if something like that, because that is very important. Because if they don't have a IME or DME, then they have nobody, right, to contest your injuries. You have your expert or you have your surgeon, but they don't have anybody. So the judges usually give them, but they'd have to have a good excuse, like why they couldn't do it within the deadline of discovery, right? Why they need more time and why they haven't scheduled you. Because it's really not much. I mean, they have DME doctors. They just kind of pick one and just send you a notice. Go to this doc. Go to Doctor A on whatever date, and then you just go, and then they see you for like 10-20 minutes, and they write up like a quick report. It's like pretty much the same report. Maybe they change the names a little bit, and they usually say it's degenerative. It's not from the accident. All the usual excuses. And then you could send in maybe a watchdog, or your lawyer could hire like one of these IME watchdogs to go with you. That's like an independent observer that says when he started the exam, when he finished the exam, exactly what he did. So he can't, do a 5-minute exam and then later claim, oh, I spent 2 hours with the patient. So that's always good to do
Okay,
too.
so I will definitely bring that up if or whenever they try to schedule the DME. My question for you is this is what what do you think the probability is that they tender the entire 2 million? Because he already wrote that up in the lawsuit that he's demanding 2 million with a jury trial.
But I thought you said it's only a 1 million policy, right? Or is it only 1 million, or is it 2 million, the policy?
That's what I don't understand because he said they had a 1 million policy, but he's demanding 2 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might just be demanding it based on the injuries, but if there's only a 1 million policy and he already checked and there's no excess, no umbrella, nothing else, then basically you're limited to the one. That's what I was saying. If he confirmed that and it's only one, then he could just say, look, pay me the one, but if you don't, then it's going to be like 5, and just really scare them and say, then I'm going to trial. I'm not confined to the one. I can go to trial and whatever it's worth, and it could be worth 5, it could be worth more, and then what are you guys going to do? It was just a private car that hit you, right? Or just a individual?
Yeah, he was actually on his way to work. He said he had said it in a deposition that he had picked up breakfast at the Burger King near my job and was heading to his job at the T-Mobile store, and that's where he did his deposition in the back of the T-Mobile store with the T-Mobile sign.
Oh, okay. But he's not like, he wasn't working for like a company or anything like that where you could sue the company or have more coverage. It was just but that's already pretty good. 1 million is pretty good for an individual. So
Right.
yeah, I would
And
try
is it
to.
standard? Because I did see the lawsuit and a company was named ABC, so I don't know if it's an actual company.
Oh, they might have named somebody like in the hope that if he was working for somebody, then they would sue that company. But if he said he wasn't, then it's just him. But no, I mean, it sounds like a good case. I would definitely like put the pressure on them a little bit, because it sounds like, they have less money than your case is worth, but they're not even giving you what they have because maybe there's not enough pressure. But yeah, like definitely get them to do this IME, DME, maybe send them a settlement letter and just kind of that's what I would recommend, but it sounds like a really good case. And
They haven't made a single offer yet either.
which insurance company do they have?
State Farm.
Oh, State Farm. Yeah, State Farm is usually okay. I mean, sometimes they could be a little cheap, but they're usually okay on the bigger cases. They should pay. But yeah, let me do the search for
Yeah.
about your lawyer, and then I'll send you. Yeah, if you text me your email, I'll send you all their results, like their past verdicts, settlements,
Okay.
all the different results they've gotten. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good, really good case.
So do you think that this will probably leak over into 2026?
I mean, possibly if it doesn't settle, like it really depends. Now is actually a good time because the insurance companies like to settle cases but before the end of the year. So that's what I was saying. If your lawyer writes them a letter, even like today or this in this month, and then they'll have some November date, right? 30 days. And then if they don't pay by then you could say, well, look, you had your chance. Now I'm going to go to trial. It's going to be much more like 3 million, 5 million. And then, and then you have November and December to additionally negotiate, maybe do a mediation. It sounds like they really should settle. I don't know why they wouldn't settle.
Well, he said that they're trying to find some alternative causation, degenerative, but even with all my medical records, I've never had any of these. I've never even had a surgery. I've never even had an MRI in my life. Never needed one.
Right, right. They always try that. They always they make that argument, but it's just basically an excuse not to pay. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. So that yeah, no, I think yeah. I mean, if they don't settle and they make you wait for trial, I'm not sure how New Jersey is, but I think if the discovery's over in November, trial might be a little later, right? Like it might be February or March, or I'm not sure about New Jersey. I know New York, it's even longer. Sometimes you wait a year or more on the trial calendar, but New Jersey, I heard, was more efficient, quicker. So it should be.
And I know that we have pretty strict bad faith laws here too.
Yeah, that's good. That's why I thought that letter might be really good because that might scare them, and then they'll pay. They should definitely give you an offer. I mean, with this kind of case, I mean, how could they not even give you any offer?
Exactly. I have literal video and two in-car witnesses and stellar deposition, and their guy lied in the deposition. And I have a mountain of, medical records, and every single doctor supports the accident was the cause.
Okay, so I'll do that for you. I'll do the research. I'll send that to you, and then yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. Just feel free to text me. We could do another call, and I'm happy to help in any way I can. But it sounds like the case is moving along well, and it should be resolved pretty quickly.
Potentially this year? You don't think so?
I think so. Yeah, like if they send that settlement letter, it could be this year, but they have to like do something. If they just wait, for the insurance, because you got to understand these adjusters, they might have like 100 or even more files on their desk, and there's no reason, like if you're number like 57, there's no reason for them to call the 57th file as opposed to some other file. They're not really going to take the initiative, so that's why your lawyer has to send them a letter and say, hey, pay me the million. You have until November 13th, but if you don't, that's fine. But then I'm going to go to a jury trial. I'm going to get 5 million. That's, and show them like I write these comprehensive 15, 20-page letters where I have like past pain and suffering, future pain and suffering, past, future medical costs, and it's itemized with economists and then also lost wages if you have that and everything. And then, you say, look, even one of these things is almost like a million, but all you have is a million, and all of these things together add up to like 6 or 7 or whatever it is, and just kind of scare them, and then they either pay the million or they pay something close to it, and if they don't, then you just have to kind of stick to your guns and go to trial. But that really works. But if they're not doing anything, if they're just kind of waiting for the State Farm to take the first step, State Farm, like they're not even scheduling a DME, they're just going to sleep. That's what they always do. That's
I mean, he said he was being aggressive, that he had already demanded from them that they tender the policy. So, I guess he's probably waiting for this next report so he can give it to him and say, hey, this is what we got. What are you going to do?
okay. Yeah, but yeah, let me know if I could. I'll be happy to help in any way I can, and I hope you feel better. And that's the most important thing, and get a full recovery.
Well, again, I think your videos definitely helped because when defense asked, "What can I do that I can't do anymore?" I went into the complete human story, which was so accurate because we had just had a barbecue 2 weeks prior, and at the end of the barbecue, I was basically crying because of back pain.
Yeah, that's good. So that helped. I'm glad that helped. So you were able to go and find like a moment in time, right, in your life, and explain how you were actually affected. Yeah, that's good.
Right, because who can't resonate with a barbecue?
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, if the defense lawyer said that you did a great job, then you must have done a really good job because they don't say that so often, you know. So
Yeah, no, he called my lawyer right after and said that, but he said that he was going to try to find, causation or whatever. But again, there is none. You can kick over rocks. I'm not even worried about, potential surveillance because everything I said in my deposition, the only thing I refrain from doing is walking my dog because he's a big dog.
Mm.
Um, I told him there's nothing that I can't do, but I refrain from doing because of the pain that comes after. So I don't know what they're going to do. I don't even drive myself to appointments because my FCE basically said that I start getting pain after more than 30 minutes of driving. My wife drives me to all my appointments that are an hour away.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. Then you shouldn't. Yeah, you don't have to worry about surveillance if you're not doing anything that nothing that's contrary to your testimony, basically. So you should be good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it sounds like they're just kind of like delaying for no reason, trying to find some reason not to pay, like this, causation, degeneration. But that's not really. It sounds like it's a slam dunk case. So yeah. No, I'll do that research for you, and then yeah, feel free. Like I said, if you have any other questions, feel free to text me. I'm happy to do another call. But it sounds like a good case for sure. You should get a really good result. It's too bad that there's not more coverage because I think it's worth more than the million. Yeah.
Yeah, you and me both. It could be worse. It could be 25 cap.
Right, that's true. That happens. That's the worst. That's the worst when it's so little.
Yeah, so I mean, either way, it's life changing, and hopefully it'll help. I just hope that things don't get worse.
Of course, of course. Yeah. No, it should be. Hopefully, you can make a good recovery and get back to. Have you been out of work all this time since it happened?
I was out of work end of September, and I went back in February.
And how is it going back to work? Are you able to do the same things, or is it more like a restricted duty or that duty?
Yeah, I have restricted duties. I have to be able to sit and stand as needed. Again, no driving more than 30 minutes, and I'm basically sedentary duty. So I used to be, again, I work at a car dealership. It's very fast paced. I used to, do all the pictures and videos on cars, a lot of moving, bending, all this. I can't do any of that now. So I'm basically on a desk.
Okay. Okay. So I'll do this research and then like yeah, we'll stay in touch. But yeah, good luck. I think that you have a really good case. Yeah, for sure.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Frekhtman. I appreciate the call.
Oh, you're very welcome. Okay, all the best to you. Okay, feel better.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, so we could see from that consult, he has a really good case. It happened in March of 2024. He's not at fault. This other car rear ends him. The car has $1 million in insurance. He's got these two major surgeries, C4 to C7. That's like C4, C5, C6, C7. That's like 4 levels right there. Plus with adjacent segment disease, you could be needing a future surgery at C3 and another one at C8, right? So that's 2 more surgeries in the next 15 years that to a reasonable degree of medical probability are going to be needed because that's just what happens. And plus he's had the lumbar L5S1. So that case could be worth like 5 million easily, or three to 5 million, or maybe more, but they only have $1 million. So that's when that happens. You got to like really push them and say, look, you guys only have less than this is worth, pay us this. And if you don't, then we're going to, go ballistic on you and we're going to go nuclear and it's going to be worth like 5. And who's going to pay it? Is it going to be this poor guy, your policyholder? You can't do that. You have to, protect your policyholder's interests. It's a duty of good faith and fair dealing. If you leave your policyholder out to dry, then you're going to be liable for the entire verdict. And in New Jersey, he said there's strong bad faith law. So if that's the case, it could be considered an open policy. So I would do that. I wouldn't worry about the defendant's DME, IME. I mean, of course, that's just a step in the process, but I would focus on especially now, end of the year, these big companies like State Farm, they're making like $100 billion a year. They make a lot of money, but they don't want to be like a good neighbor. They want to tell you they do, but they don't. They want to find BS excuses and not pay on legitimate claims. And this is like a perfect example, actual human being, and perfect example of them not wanting to pay on legitimate claims. I'm going to find causation, degeneration, what? Like what degeneration? And you're saying that it's just a normal painless aging process, and this 44-year-old just like woke up one day, and it happened to be the same day after he got hit by this car in the rear and had a major crash, and suddenly his normal painless aging process just manifested spontaneously on the very same day he got hit by a car. It was in a crash, but it wasn't caused by the crash. It was the normal painless aging process that we all go through, and his spine just degenerated on that day. It's just all a coincidence. I mean, it's almost like absurd, right? It's almost like a comedy show. So I would just really like stick it to them and say, look, guys, you got to pay this. And if you don't, that's fine. But then it's going to be much, much more. And, I'm going to research, the attorney. And if he needs like some other help or a second opinion, I'll give him that, whatever he needs, because it's all about the client. It's all about helping them as much as we can. So please like and subscribe to our channel. Let us know what videos you want to see. But our goal is to help serious injury victims and families. All the best. Bye-bye.